Hi guys, I'm going to show you a little bit of mod review for the Hearts and Damage mod. This is actually a mod that I created, and I just wanted to kind of run you through the recipes and how this is actually going to affect your gameplay. So basically, the fundamental kind of aspect of this mod is that it's going to permanently increase health and damage in craftable forms. So the first one is the health heart, and when you eat it, you will permanently gain an extra heart there, and as well for the damage buff, you'll gain half a point of base damage. So your punch will do, one damage by default. So if we summon a pig, there you go, and we punch him, one damage. Okay, if we eat several of these, we can start to see that this is going to do more damage to the pig. Now, if we punch him, 5 damage. So basically, this is increasing your damage base. So kind of moving on, the first thing to craft the heart, we're going to need 5 blaze rods, the golden apple, the golden chest, and 2 diamonds, and that'll also give you the heart. An alternative recipe is effectively the same thing, except with emeralds in substitute of the diamonds. And then finally, if you've crafted either a damage buff or a health heart, they're interchangeable through the furnace. So if you put either one in the furnace, you'll get the other one. And then with the damage buff, it's the same thing, except instead of the golden chest, you put a golden sword, and both variations are there with the diamonds and the emeralds. Because of the additional health, there's been some extra items added into the game, the first of which is bacon strips. So you have the bacon strips there, and those are achieved by putting a piece of pork in, and you'll get 3 of the bacon strips out. The bacon strips give you 1 saturation or half a point of hunger per. If you cook the bacon strips, obviously you'll get bacon out, and those will give you 3 saturation or 1.5 hunger per piece. The next thing we have are the fried eggs, and that's just by placing an egg in the furnace, and that's going to give you 4 points of saturation or 2 hunger points. The next thing we have are chocolate, by putting cocoa beans and sugar together, and you'll get the chocolate there. That's going to also add 4 points of saturation and 2 hunger. Let me change this real quick. The next thing we have is the caramel, and that's just simply by putting a piece of sugar into the furnace, you'll get the caramel. That adds 3 saturation and 1.5 hunger. Similarly, if you take 3 pieces of the caramel, you can put them on an apple, and you'll get the caramel apple, which is 6 saturation or 3 hunger points. Again, with the furnace, if you put a thing of milk in there, you can get a piece of cheese. That's going to add 5 saturation and 2.5 hunger. Next, we have slices of bread, which if you put a regular piece of bread in any crafting place, it's going to give you 4 slices, and each slice adds 1 saturation or half a hunger. And then if you put the bread slices in the furnace, you'll get toast, and that's going to add 2 saturation and 1 hunger. We're going to skip over those for a moment and go over to the items. There's 2 more items and 1 more recipe additionally. If you put 3 blaze rods together, you'll get this blaze charge. And then if you take the 2 blaze charges together and put them, you'll get a Nova Sphere. The purpose of this is this recipe here. If you place a Nova Sphere and a block of obsidian, you can craft a diamond here. So basically, this is a little bit more intended for endgame. These have no purpose in between. They are revertible, so if you take the blaze charge, they can be gotten back to their original form. So in another way, these could just be storage convenience if you needed it. But yeah, there's those purposes simply for storage convenience and crafting this diamond recipe. So kind of going back to these, this is vodka, which is made by sugar and potato and a water bottle, and the same thing, grain alcohol, in the same sort of fashion except for wheat. These are more just for fun. They add some effects that I will show you in a minute. The major thing to know is that every recipe that you've seen here is shapeless. So there's no orientation requirement to do any of these recipes. It just simply requires the ingredients. So since these are just for fun, these vodka and grain alcohol is just it's just more of a joke that I put in because, I don't know, I felt like it. And what they do is kind of simulate the effects of alcohol. So you'll gain slowness 3, strength 2, nausea 4, and resistance 2. And of course, roaming about your screen in that super obnoxious sort of way. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, every recipe is shapeless, so you don't have to worry about that. Let me actually show you that these do persist through death. We'll go through that. You'll see we still have, this is actually a separate mod that I have here to get this. But yeah, you'll probably also notice some other things on the ground. Battle gear, if you're familiar with it, and so forth. But yeah, these pretty much go indefinitely. I haven't found an upper limit that you can have. And if you really go to town with the extra damage, we can kind of show you here. We'll do several of them. I'm not really sure where we're at right here. Probably somewhere around 10, I should hope. So if we summon a pig again, punch him, oh, we're at 8. So if we do 2 more. Okay, obviously then we can put this pig out of his misery with 1 punch. And because this is base damage, if you're using something like Goki stats, additionally, these are compatible. If you're getting your swordsmanship, it's modifying your base damage, and Goki stats is working on another level. So this is compatible with some other mods you'll see. Battle gear and Goki stats, to name those specifically, because those, as you can see, is what I'm using. Because my mod modifies base damage, those are actually scaling alongside with these other mods. So it's pretty much how that's working. This is both compatible in single player and on servers. I have a private server that we're running this on as well. And just to kind of give you some scalability, we've also added extra monsters in there. And between the two of these, I'm hitting somewhere around 80 damage with a diamond sword. Obviously, we've scaled the mobs up, but yeah, this thing is compatible in client side and server side, and at least a pretty long set of mods. Oops, that's nothing there. That I've seen. Battle gear, infernal mods, Goki stats are the big ones that we use to really modify our private server. So that's pretty much we know there's compatibility there. And like I said, it persists through death, and it will persist into other dimensions as well. So it's not going to go away if you die, or if you go into other dimensions. If you downloaded a older version of it, you might have a dimension issue that I corrected, where when you loaded between the dimensions, it actually, you'll see here, oh, actually, whoops, we're in creative mode. But what was actually happening is, if you were going between dimensions, your health was not being updated properly. So if that's happening to you, make sure you have the most up-to-date version of it. And as you see, it works all there. And again, if we die, everything is recalculated when you enter the world. So if I punch the pig again, oops, he spaz out. There we go. All this stuff is persisting through. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll put all the links to the descriptions of some of the mods that I talked about, as well as the curse download page for this particular mod. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.